We're in. We're on the internet. God, I was all Dalek-y, and I restarted OBS and it was still Dalek-y, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, usual fix isn't working. Had to restart the entire computer. Fantastic. I was down here late enough anyway to start the stream. But, God. Held back by outside forces. Get it? External forces. Just like in the Star Wars. Hello, who's here? Let me scroll in a bit. Let's
Hello, Peter. How are you? Lovely to see you streaming. This game is really good. I really enjoyed the charity stream on Saturday.
Stephen, nice to see you. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Glad you're enjoying the game. What I was about to say before you donated, thank you very much for your donation there. Very kind of you indeed. Let's cross this one off your list. Windows as a service and updates are a normal part of keeping it running smoothly. We need your help installing this one. Ready? Restart now. Not ready? Pick a time that works for you. Let me pick a time. I won't say remind me tomorrow, because it'll remind Ben at this exact moment tomorrow. Why has Robot Lady not just read that one out? Oh, because it's a subscription. I will read that, Dr. Monday. I saw that. Let me just tell this computer to shut the flip up. Restart at 10 p.m. When I guess there's not going to be anything happening here. There we go. It's all just acting against me today. Technology. Right. Dr. Monday is here. Monday, I just said. Josh Sedgy. Carrie. Addy. Stephen. Lobrotovich. Andy Chiggins, a.k.a. Rock Reese. Peter, I can't believe I missed the cat stream. Watched it after, but I haven't missed a TripleJump stream in ages. Also, my name's Reese. Just got a confusing username. Okay. Well, I'd already read your name by the time I saw that bit, but that's okay. I will. Evil J Bird 93 just subscribed and says, "Hey there, TP." Well, hey there, Evil J Bird. Don't be evil. That's a bad thing. That's one of the bad ones. Rob says, "Hey TP, how's it going, my dude?"
Peter. I challenged you to go through this whole stream without talking about Star Wars winking face with tongue.
Make me. We're going to do some Jar Jar blips there from Carry the Worst. There we go. I've just failed. Just failed your challenge. Thank you very much. I'm just catching up on this chat, and then I'll read Dr. Monday's message. Yes, Stephen Scodes donated. Thank you very much. And Lobrotovich asked how it's going. It's going good. I'm really having a good day. Sable is here, and Declan, Quiet Insane. And then Dr. Monday subscribed and said, "Looking forward to TripleJump's Winter Delights. Also, at the risk of bringing up real-world issues, sneaky shout-out of solidarity to everyone striking against causalization and precarious exploitative employment in UK universities this week." I don't know. Oh, that's casualization. I did the inverse of what people normally do, which is when they see the word causal, they think it says casual. But I have that so ingrained in my head to not read causal as casual that when that said casual, I read it as causal. No, casualization and precarious exploitative employment in UK universities. I didn't know that was happening, Dr. Mundy, but that's very good. Yeah, I don't like the way that I don't want to dox anyone. Someone in my family / friend circle works in a university, and I want to make sure that I'd like to think that they're being treated okay. So, yeah, more power to you. So are you an actual doctor? Are you a PhD and working in a university doing like studies of like being a conehead, like Kiadi Mundi? And then loads of people just like saying my name and stuff in chat. Hello everyone. Freddie the Fabs congratulated us on 40,000 subs on YouTube. Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. So, Quite Insane dropped 100 Jar Jar blips and said, "TP, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Can you explain if magic and the Force are the same? I've heard characters do spells." They're not synonymous, but there are magic users in the Star Wars expanded universe that are basically just using the Force in a different way. There are actually spoilers. It's a safe spoiler. It's ambiguous enough. There are some people like that in this game who use magic and are called, they're not called Jedi, but They're using the Force, really.
How was your weekend, Peter? Looking stylish with your pocket Peter, available now on TripleJump shop.
Thank you, Stephen, for that little ad there. Yeah, you guys can all get yourselves a pocket Peter. Oh, there's a little hair on it. Poor him. Oh, it's still there. Here we go. Didn't know where that came from. You guys can all get a pocket Peter shirt just like this by visiting TripleJump, she just said. TripleJ.mp. That's TripleJump with a dot near the end. /shop. Get one of these. Various colours. You're in a little pocket Pete. Send me a picture of your pocket Pete somewhere interesting. Take him on a little trip. Show me on social media. Dr. Hoop subscribed. I didn't miss that. I'm just catching up on everything. It's always busy, isn't it, at the start of a stream? It's nearly 1:15. Don't worry. We'll stay behind. We'll do a little bit more. I won't be able to tear myself away from this game. It's so good. And that, of course, was Stephen Scodes donating another $5. Thank you very much, Stephen. Your generosity is arguably problematic. Look after yourself financially, Stephen. Don't give it all to us. I mean, do if you can. No, it's okay. I'm joking. So, there we go. I'm now caught up with the chat. Sorry if I skipped over something that you said. Feel free to say it again. I just wanted to get to the bottom. Get to the bottom of it, as it were. Now, you'll have to let me know, as usual, what the sound is like. The one thing I haven't done is tested the PS4 sound. It seems okay, but we've got subtitles on. That's the main thing. As long as it's not deafeningly loud. There we go. Oh, I'm all caught up now. It makes me happy. I feel a bit calmer. Reese says, Peter, I was eyeing the Patreon page, and you have way more than the last time I checked. Same with subscribers. We do. We've been very lucky. Got a lovely community doing nice things, helping us out, being very supportive, and I'm very grateful. So, how far did we get up to last time? Because I've just completed this at home. Which is great. I really enjoyed it. Got a massive spoiler for the end. Basically, I knew some. Don't worry, I'll be very, 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 very cryptic here. This is not going to be a spoiler for anyone. I knew that there was going to be a Star Wars reference, a reference to the more well-known Star Wars saga. At some point in the game, I knew specifically what it was going to be. I saw like the word, and I was like, okay, well that's going to happen at some point. And then as I just got oh, hello. Oh, he's not having a good time. As I got closer and closer to the end of the game, I was like, oh well, it's still not happened. I guess it's going to happen in the ending, and then it did. So basically, the big exciting bit at the end of the game was just spoiled for me completely. And I saw it in a thumbnail, and possibly, I don't think I've got this one in my own save. Look at this.
Oh, okay.
A thumbnail and title video of YouTube video. Oh yeah, I do have Blue Leader. This is the one I used for my BD for the entire run. This is my favourite BD skin, the blue one. It's just like his red one, but it's blue. I think all the others make him look a little bit, I don't know what, but I like this. Anyway, it was a video posted by a very, very popular, highly subscribed Star Wars YouTube channel that like does kind of lore discussions and trailer breakdowns and things like that. So it's got millions of subscribers, this guy, and about 3 days after it had gone out, the game, he was like pushing a video into people's subscription boxes. I don't think this is open yet, is it? It's a shortcut for later. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And yeah, like 3 days after release, he was like, Star Wars Part 5 word that is a massive spoiler. Like, oh, great, thanks very much. Thank you for that. Because I know it would have blown my mind way more if I had not seen it coming. I would have been absolutely jaw on the floor.
Thanks, BD1.
Like, I don't think Scott Telford from What Culture had it spoiled for him, because he tweeted just after he finished the game a few days ago something like, I think he did actually say my mouth was hanging open or my jaw was on the floor in the final scenes of that game. And yeah, like, as a big Star Wars fan, I would have loved to not have that spoiled. Anyway, I'll calm down now. I'm not that mad. I am. I'm going to have to remember now that I don't have all kinds of abilities that I have started to take for granted in my... Okay. That I've started to take for granted in my save at home. The sound is good, my dude. Maybe a tiny bit louder, if possible, says Labrotovich. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Randy Valentine. I've avoided spoilers so far and only a few planets in, so please don't pre-blow my mind. I won't. And yeah, as Rapsputin says, it goes without saying, no spoilers in chat. We're all doing a good job. I feel like I did a respectable job. Oh yeah, that does look pretty quiet. I feel like I did a respectable job of airing my grievances without actually naming the thing. Okay, what do I have? I've got slow and nothing else. No. Wall run. I've got wall run, slow, lightsaber, and stim canisters. Okay. Wow. Weak. Oops.
Watch out, BD. They don't look friendly.
Oh, off the edge. Scan it, buddy. What's that? It's half of a womp rat. It's not a womp rat. Ooh. What is this? This is an exit.
It's locked down.
Okay. Oh, what? What have you seen? Scout Trooper baton. Baton! Hi Psylog, it's 12 AM and I'm not a fan of Star Wars. Hope you all have a good time. Bye TP and chat. Okay.
Let's go, BD1.
In reference to your earlier questions, oh, I've zoomed the chat in a bit too much. I can't really. It's all vanishing as soon as it's there. In reference to your earlier question, TP, I'm a historian, but early career. Got my PhD in 2017. Alas, my name is not a reference to Kiadi Mundi. Oh no! I asked you that last week, but if you answered in the chat, I must have missed your answer. Or maybe you didn't hear me ask. Maybe it's your actual name, and I've just been borderline offensive. In any case, get you. A history academic. Amongst our ranks. Fantastic.
Cal, can you hear me?
The Empire. They found Zepho.
If they were following the Mantis, we would have been swarmed already.
Could they be looking for the tombs?
Let's hope not. Just got our comms working. I'll try the same workaround to crack into theirs.
So it's Stormy, and the comms weren't working, but she's now got ours working by fiddling around. She's going to do the same thing on their comms to try and listen in. Evil Jaybird wants to know how I'm finding the combat in this game. You know, it like really, I really like it. The more I played of it, the more I enjoyed. Hello. Here we go. So there's that shortcut from before. Yeah, the more I played, the more I started to love it, and yeah, I think it's great now. It helps that I've got it on the easy story mode, but still, you still have to do like loads of dodging and stuff.
I won't let you win, traitor.
And I was in this game for the story more than anything. I didn't want to play, you know, a difficult Soulsborne style game. So yeah, I really like it.
Hey now.
This game really, really grew on me as well. Like, I liked it from the beginning. I'm not saying that I didn't like it and then eventually I learned to love it, but like, it just, you know, I thought it was good, was really enjoying it. I was like, yeah, good on EA for publishing a decent Star Wars game, and good on Respawn, more to the point, for, you know, getting this through the publisher so that hopefully they might learn this is what people want. But God, the more I played, like, the last half of the game, really. Certainly the last third, if not the last half. I just didn't want to put it down. I stayed up really, really late on Saturday, like ridiculous, like Saturday night, Sunday morning. I stayed up unhealthily late because I just couldn't put it down. And the only reason I went to bed in the end is because I was unable to actually like physically concentrate on what was going on. I was like, who is this? What? My eyes were like sagging. I didn't want to sleep, but I just had to. So. Yeah, it really goes places. I think it can be a bit bland at times in this early juncture because I'm personally not like an enormous fan of these like very large open areas, these maps. I prefer it to be a lot more linear like Uncharted games. That would be my ideal, I think. But not that I have any problem with this. I just don't like it as much as an alternative mode. But yeah, God, it really picks up, especially as a Star Wars fan. Some really like strong ties with the Clone Wars animated show as well, which I only watched for the first time this year, and I'm so glad I did now. Like going into this, that I was able to. I was going to scan all of this stuff. We've not scanned any of it yet. I'm used to this all being scanned, all these different enemy types. Oops. Hello, what am I doing? So you're able to. This tracks all of your sort of character information. I'm just going to mark them all as red. Oh, you can't square. Oh, I've marked everything as red in the side as well. This is what's going on the planets that we're visiting. So we're on Zepho, and then there's also a separate tab, Tactical Guide, which has the enemies that you encounter on certain planets, such as this Skaz, these things that we met on Bogano, and then there's a separate tab entirely for Imperial soldiers, because they're everywhere. But God, yeah, this game really goes places, and if you're into the Clone Wars show, there's some really nice bits that tie in. So yeah, really enjoying it. It's very glitchy though. They've still not fixed any of that, but it's okay. Yeah, Josh said, "Gee, I'm with you." I was religiously following the Rise of Skywalker promotional stuff. Hello, hang on. I wanted to see like all the trailers and stuff at first. Now I feel like I've seen too much. I've not watched anything that's come out in the past couple of weeks.
Don't be next.
Basically, there've been two like major trailers, like big trailers, and the final like proper big trailer that they did about a month or so ago, which I won't describe in case there's any people in chat who don't want to know. But the second of the two sort of big trailers that they did, that was the last thing that I watched. And today or yesterday, they've released an actual 30-second just straight sequence from the film, which I do not want to see, and it's all over my Twitter feed, and it's on autoplay. So I have seen the first 1 second of it many times, because as I'm scrolling around on my Twitter, it appears. Fortunately, it starts muted, and it's just a really wide establishing shot to begin with. I'm sure it like goes into some more detail several seconds in, but yeah, fortunately I've avoided that. I don't want to see anything else now. There's a new TV spot that I've not seen, that has, I know it's got new footage in it, to what I've already come across. I don't want any more. I feel like there was almost a little bit too much revealed in those first two trailers, or at least in the trailer breakdowns that I've subsequently watched, where people have like tried to guess what's going on. Oops, I let go. Yeah. Freddy the Fab says, does the glitchiness get in the way? Yeah, well... Annoyingly, on one of the most dramatic cutscenes right near the end of the game, I had this sort of weird sound effect just looping and looping over in the background, because I think just as the cutscene started, someone had like... An enemy had like thrown like a spinning weapon, and the looping spin sound was just going vroom, vroom, in the background of all this like sincere dialogue. So that was a bit annoying. And there's all sorts of weird, flippy, weird graphical bits going on. I don't know, and the frame rate's not great. It doesn't ruin the experience, but what it does is detract from what could have been not a perfect score, but a much better, this would have been up there with my games of the year, plural, not game of the year, but
Where are you taking us?
it's difficult for me to justify that with the state that it's in, or certainly the way I experienced it. I've seen some people say on social media that they didn't find it as glitchy as I have done, and they've just played the regular PS4 version, so I don't know, but yeah. I'm really behind on chat now. Is this my game of the year, says Reese? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I'm not saying it's not, but I can't say for sure. Like, I can't just say to you, yes, it is. Like, I don't feel that way yet about it. There's apparently a Rise of Skywalker script that's gone up for sale on eBay. Oh my Christ, no thank you. I've heard that the ending has leaked, and some other like outlets are reporting that people were walking out of like test screenings at the end. Like, I don't think you can walk out of a test screening. That seems like such an overblown, sensational story. I'm not saying it's not going to be bad. Like, maybe it is going to be really bad, and people are going to walk out of it when like it actually gets released. But I think with a test screening, you can't just get up and leave. Like, you're being paid to be there, presumably. So that sounds like bull to me, but I don't know. I'm nearly up to speed with chat. I paused to answer questions. TP, create your own Star Wars planet and species, and quite insane throws a whole bunch of Jar Jar blips at me that are all individual and therefore impossible to count. But a planet and species. Okay, I'll get thinking on that one. Right, I'm up to date. I had to beat this game so TP didn't spoil it for me, but I didn't want to miss the streams. But now want a challenge. Oh, because you wanted to watch the stream. Okay. I thought you meant I was going to spoil it on like social media for people. I would never do that. But yeah, you wanted to watch my streams anyway. I see. Well, I hope you liked it, tired author Danny.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
What's that, BD1?
Welcome back to the bottom of chat, says Dobrotovich. Yeah, I see you, bro. Ready for this? Vertical takedown. Ha! Got him. Oh! Hello. Love that. Have I scanned? Yeah, I've got Scout Trooper. Danny says, I really did. I'm tempted to get one of the characters we meet later tattooed as part of my Star Wars leg piece. Oh, wow! Okay. Again, in a very spoiler-free way, do you mean the new... Well, a lot of them are new characters in this game. I'm trying to work out which one you mean. I think I might know. Character we meet later. How can I find out? How can I establish who you mean in a very non-spoiler way? Skill tree, fellas and girls. Walrus on the planet Clandova. Large pink tusked aliens that inhabit coastal regions and could have been better fathers to their offspring. Yeah, they probably could. That's a good one, Rapsputin. I like it. I like it. Okay, what have we got? Slow. Maximum life. We don't need that because we're on easy mode. Oh yeah, I like this. Oh, I can't get that one yet. No, the kick is lame. Okay, we'll save our points. I don't think I ever got empowered slow in the end in my run through. We'll wait until we can get the double triangle attack. I think I know who you mean, Danny, in terms of who you want to get tattooed. There's only so many characters it could be who we've not yet met. And I agree. I enjoyed that character very much, if I'm thinking of the right one. I may tweet you, TP, so no spoilers on stream. That's fair. Yeah, if you're on Twitter, I don't like to assume. A lot of the time, like I nearly said to you then, oh, just tweet it to me. Some people aren't actually on Twitter and they don't like it when we're like that. We're Twitter normative here on TripleJump. We shouldn't be. But yeah, by all means tweet me. I think I know who you mean. Yeah, I still not answered the question. The blip question about... There's a chest there. My planet. What about,
Come back here. What was in there?
Copper saber, yeah. I would have a planet of, I'm trying to think of something that actually like fits in the Star Wars aesthetic, which is almost anything at this point. It's like tens of thousands of systems in the Galactic Republic, I think. But yeah, TripleJump related one. In fact, maybe I would like invent a species, a super stealthy species, so that if ever they made a proper open world Star Wars RPG, well, they have done, but if they made another one. Oh my god! I think I missed that the first time I played this. Then I'll be able to play as like a sneaky thief, which I love to play in most RPGs. Although if it was a Star Wars RPG, I probably wouldn't want to play as a sneaky thief. But I don't know. Some sort of like creature that can go maybe a little bit invisible, or like I'm just kind of thinking of like Skyrim and Oblivion. I love playing those as thieves. Hup. As you like it. Good, I missed the start of the stream, but I'm here till the end. Fantastic. You've not missed much story-wise. Oh! In fact, you've not missed anything story-wise. We just landed on this planet looking for information.
What?
No, he scanned it just before it fell. On this planet, the planet of the Zepho, who remember were the people who made the tomb back on the first planet we were on. And
Jedi is here.
oh my god, this guy's got a...
Be careful! He moved! He's wounded! I got him!
I want to take out this rocket launcher fella.
Coward.
Oh no, he got me.
We'll take you down! That was our last rocket unit? We're in
You're
trouble.
eventually able to use the Force to
Smash him.
push the rockets back at them, like throw them back.
We don't
It's
even
great.
have to try here. I'm done with this one.
I like the dynamic dialogue that you get when you're in combat, actually. Like,
I'll bet I
that
can
guy
beat
just
you.
said, there was a less rocket unit when I killed him. And, like, they'll even say stuff to you like, stop dodging! Or, like, oh, you're a coward if you're, like, holding your saber up all the time. They call you a coward, you know. It's cool. Peter, are you looking forward to the brand new trilogy after the sequels are done? I feel it's what should have been done instead of sequels anyway. I kind of understand why they did the sequels. Because they kind of wanted to just reinvigorate Star Wars fever. I think if they'd just come back with something completely new, people would have been like, you know, it would have been even more like far removed from... Oh no, that's not good enough, is it? That's not good enough. I think you would have had a lot of fans very disappointed, like with this brand new, like, part of the galaxy, probably a whole bunch of new species. Like, I think you needed the familiarity to kind of tie in I'm not saying that the sequel trilogy has been done super well, because it hasn't. So I think it could have been done in a much better way, but I kind of understand the reasoning for having done it in the first place. But am I looking forward to the new trilogy? Well, I want to wait and see what it is first. If it's the Rian Johnson one, and I don't think it is, I don't think they're going to announce that. I think it's going to be something else. But if it's the Rian Johnson one, I very much want to know what it's about first.
That's got to be one of the Zepho. Guess we're on the right track, huh, BD?
Because that guy,
It's the Jedi.
the way he treated Last Jedi, it's a very divisive film. Like, I know there's going to be people, even in the chat today or watching the VOD, who really like Last Jedi. Some people say it's their favourite Star Wars movie of all time, or their second favourite. For me, it just wasn't. Like, I don't think it was. I don't know. It was a bit masturbatory, I thought. It was like, I kind of felt like he was going, I've been given this like beloved series, and I'm gonna do like edgy things with it. And it's like, I don't think this is. It's not really the time or place to start like being subversive, in my opinion. You know, I don't think you should do it with something that relies so heavily on, I don't know, an overarching style, an overarching story, characters and stuff. And I think if he hadn't... Oh no, I still haven't any point. And I think if he hadn't done that and created a film that was so divisive, Star Wars might, to an extent, not be in the problem place it is in now. Fortunately, The Mandalorian and this game have gone a long way in the past few months to, or even the past few weeks, I should say, just to help out with the Star Wars reputation at the moment. Oh, we're back here? Running in circles. Let's just see where we are and what's going on. Got a bit turned around there. We're going this way. Yeah, people I've seen on like Star Wars Reddit and stuff, people are saying like, oh, I kind of feel like, you know, Star Wars is, you know, not totally fixed now. Still got to see what the new film is like, but yeah, this game and The Mandalorian have gone a long way to improve.
I didn't see it. The intruder is weak.
The intruder is weak.
He's really injured. Go for us next.
But I can't wait until I unlock the Force push. But yeah, I just think The Last Jedi, I think Star Wars in general, or like episode 8 of 9 in a 9-part saga, is not the time or place to be like fannying around with like doing quote unquote clever things, you know? So depending on what, for a start, whether it's Rian Johnson at all, this new trilogy, and if it is, like, what sort of era or story he's going to be telling, that'll kind of say how excited I am or not. I will definitely watch it, whatever happens, because it's Star Wars, and I'm going to watch everything that Star Wars releases for the rest of time. Like Doctor Who. I think that's gone, like, way off, but, like, the new trailer came out recently, and I thought, okay, that looks average. But I just know I'm going to watch it weekly, just because I always have and I always will. Oops. I liked Last Jedi, but I don't know why you wouldn't have the same director for all three. That makes no sense to me, says Danny. Yeah, no, that is... I tell you what, that's the biggest thing, isn't it? It's the cohesion. That's what I'm talking... I said before, it's about a cohesive story. And I just think, clearly... you know, JJ had some ideas. We know he did. We know he had ideas for what to do with Snoke and Rey. I believe he actually had parentage in his head for Rey.
Why are you even trying? Fire on the enemy.
But certainly, I'm sure he would have done a bit more with... I know he would have done a bit more with Snoke, because he said that he laughed when he found out that Rian Johnson had, like, killed Snoke off.
Come here, BD1.
Oh, BD sometimes gets distracted because he wants to go and scan things. You have to call him over. Where is he? What's he doing? Oh, there we go. And that's the point, isn't it? Is that, like,
can't push it.
Now JJ has got to try to tie together all 3 films of the sequel trilogy, plus make it work in relation to the saga as a whole.
I think you should just give up. I'll get you.
After a movie that clearly messed around a lot with the plans and, you know, the foundations that have been laid down in episode 7, and I think that's really, like, borderline problematic thing to have done. I know, like, obviously it wasn't just, I'm sure, like, you know, Kathleen Kennedy signed off on it. I'm just not, he wasn't just given complete free reign. He could have, like, produced a film where all of the characters die in a flood, and then episode 9 is just an empty room for an hour and a half. But oops. So, you know, it wasn't just John's. But yeah, I feel like it's really unhelpful to have done that. It's like the middle episode of the trilogy, and they shouldn't have assigned it to different directors like that. And hopefully they never will again. Anyway, that's the Last Jedi covered. Like, I mean, you know, I've talked about it before. I'm sure I'll talk about it again. But I know that some people really like it, and that's fine. I don't, and hopefully you guys think that's fine too. But I don't want to crap on it for the next hour and a quarter. Oh no, the Skaz. What's it called? Skag.
You're quick. Good for you.
Haha. Yes, I am. Scan him. Heal yourself, TP. Oh, good eye. Good eye, Steven. I'm not keeping an eye on that. Too busy chatting. Oh, this is fun. I like this.
There's nothing on this planet. Maybe there's some historic artifacts or something. I mean, in accordance with the Emperor's will, we've occupied Zepho, redistributing its inhabitants. This planet has failed to yield significant data or relics for Project Augur. Its electromagnetic winds have rendered the bulk of our mining technology useless. Meanwhile, more stormtroopers lose their lives to dangerous fauna. We will not be able to fulfill our directive here. It is my recommendation that we disband the project and leave a token outpost to keep scavengers from stealing our technology.
Some people like it, some people don't. And that's okay. Unless it isn't, but it usually is. Simon Miller's thoughts on Last Jedi. Simon Miller got sent a replica Cal's lightsaber by presumably EA or their PR company. And well, Jal. That's great. Posted it on Twitter and Instagram. Go and check it out.
Intruder! I got this.
Ah!
We'll vanquish you.
We'll vanquish you. No one speaks like that. Oops. Oh, I missed the execution. Yeah, I thought I'd not scanned one of these.
Hey! What's that, BD1?
Wow! Wow! Oops. I thought that was connected. Thought there was no gap. Oh no. Ah! Yeah! Peter, do you like the plot of the Force Unleashed games? I love the concept of Starkiller. I love the concept of Starkiller as what Anakin's potential was. I definitely played the first one. I think I played the second one as well. I really liked the first one. I thought the gameplay was actually a little bit winky wonky.
What is it?
Some of the like world design, like the terrain was trying to like traverse that game. Felt a bit weird sometimes. But wall run. No, I've done it wrong. It's dark, isn't it?
Cal, the Empire's pinpointed your location. You need to move fast.
On it. Thanks.
God, it's a bit loud. It's a bit loud. Ooh, ah! The Tick Cartoon. Is this a Star Wars action platformer RPG? It is the Tick Cartoon. Where have you been living? Under a floating Jedi space rock? Yeah, this is an action adventure RPG, Uncharted style, Soulsborne looking Star Wars video game.
Find an opening. Shoot it.
The combat is harder than it ought to be, being a Jedi.
Shoot the target. Maybe I shouldn't have hit him.
That guy shooting me is really giving me a hard time. I would have no problem fighting one of these. Hang on, fighting one of these fellas if it wasn't for you shooting me all the time. No, don't move up. Kill this fella as well. Right, now we're good.
We'll be right behind you. Catch him. Scored a hit. Moving back. Almost got him.
Yeah, you have.
Help!
Help.
You can't beat us.
But it's tricky, like, not having most of the abilities that I had yesterday when I was playing this game.
We'll win easy. You
Unlock
and
some
me.
good stuff soon.
All right. You and me.
There we go. Stephen Scode says, "What do you think of the targeting system, Peter?" I think it's okay. I like that it's in there in terms of like if it wasn't there at all, I think it would be really tough. But I think they could have implemented it a little bit better. I don't know. There's something about it that's like doesn't feel quite right. And sometimes if there's someone just standing a little bit for like sort of standing where that rock wall is, and you know there's someone a lot closer like here, and you really want to target the person over there because they're shooting at you or whatever, it can actually be really tricky to do that. So that's one thing I don't really like about it. I seem to have a lot of complaints about this game, given that I started the stream by saying how much I enjoyed it, but you know. Also, another complaint. This sliding mechanic, they should have given Cal I was just about to say, a way better turning circle than they did. Because you actually have to turn around the corners. It's not one of those games that turns the corner for you and you're just actually strafing left and right, sort of in lanes. You actually have to turn around the corners, yourself. And he actually turns really wide. Like, that was the sharpest turn I could have done there. He turns slowly and widely, and actually it can be real tricky. With, you know, a mechanic like this should be one of the funnest things to do in the game. Like in Uncharted, when you would occasionally do this in Uncharted 4. I loved it. I was always hoping to find a slidey bit. So that should be really fun. It looks fun, doesn't it? But, you know...
I found something.
What do they know?
Uh-oh, did I?
No mention of
Stop
Cordova. I don't think the Empire knows he's been here.
Then we have the advantage. For now.
Rip's my worst enemy in this game, says Randy Valentine. Oh, there's a runnable wall there. Oh, what is this? Did I do this? All these things I'm finding. Oh, I did do this, yeah. I am playthrough.
This is a waste of time.
Rasputin says something would have to be absolutely perfect to not have any complaints. The game can still be brilliant but have issues. No, you're absolutely right. That's why I'm happy to air those grievances, those general grievances. It's about half an hour until the sex number, everyone. I mean, it's not the actual one. That's passed us by. It's long gone. But, you know, in some other country, Greenland or something. This is an area with some visual glitches. Look, if you run through this too quickly, it might have loaded it now, but like when you turn the corner, you can see a little bit of, see those white flickers? It's because my understanding is that the game is culling.
We're on the right track.
Which means it's not rendering stuff that's not visible on screen. Because, you know, why waste game resources to render what's around the corner if you can't even see it? And what most games do is, you know, render stuff in time so that when you do turn the corner, it's there just in time. They've slightly screwed that up.
Can't get through.
Peter, does basic or minimal gameplay, like, say, Uncharted, not bother you? Because you have a narrative-focused game and good gameplay mechanics like Spider-Man. Do you think Uncharted is basic, minimal gameplay because you have a narrative-focused game and a good gameplay mechanics like... I don't know what you're...
There's a storm up ahead.
Are you saying Spider-Man is good for that? Uncharted is bad for that, or what? Like
me there, beyond the storm.
Follow it. Let the Force sharpen your instincts.
All right, I'll do my best.
What the hell is that? It's one of those sheep bulls. I loved Spider-Man. For its narrative, I liked that it was semi-linear, like in terms of the story, like you just had to go from place to place and it would like generate the next mission, that you knew where you were going. Whereas in this game, like, look, you know, there's just all this. To me, sometimes this kind of thing is a bit much. Sorry, yeah, I meant you can have both good gameplay and narrative like Spider-Man, as opposed to Uncharted, which is more a movie, says Reese. Yeah, well, yeah. For me, I really like Uncharted being... I guess it is more like a movie than Spider-Man was. Yeah, you're right. But, I think they're similar games, though, overall. Like, it's the linearity of them, if that's a word. The linearness. I seem a bit low in frame, don't I? Let me sit up a bit. The sort of linear aspect of both the Uncharted and Spider-Man games that I really like, and would rather there was a bit more of that in this game in terms of the level design. But yeah, I see how there's differences in terms of Spider-Man. Spider-Man does have a... I don't even know if I can agree with whether Spider-Man has a heavy focus on gameplay, personally. I think that it has more varied gameplay mechanics in some ways, particularly if you're talking about the later Uncharted games. Certainly Uncharted 1 is a fairly basic game, it's just a lot of shooting, but you've got your traversal and your puzzling and your you know, a lot of shooting and driving and things like that in Uncharted 4. I think it's a pretty varied game, gameplay-wise. Spider-Man certainly is. You've got all kinds of web powers and collectibles and things like that, which you don't have in Uncharted, for sure. In any case... Well, I blocked that, but sure. Oh, it's because I ran out of stamina. Yeah, no, I see your point. I don't know. For me, like, I like both. It's just the linear style that I enjoy in those games, whether or not they've got like
What do we find?
super varied gameplay. But I don't like a game to be too much like a movie in terms of I'm not really like a massive fan of the David Cage style games. I think they're pretty good for when we stream. Like I enjoy playing them, but like I would never play one of those games at home on my own. That's our new ability there, that double triangle.
Oh, another one of these.
But there's a lot of these. I don't remember this. So we hit him once with a heavy, and then he ran out of force. Demika Kempton is here. Hey everyone, I feel like it's been ages since I caught a stream and I arrived halfway in. What's been happening? Hope everyone's doing good. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good. Is everyone doing good? How is everyone? Ah! Scanning BD.
These things are pretty cute.
Don't really know how I get that, but I'm not that bothered. So, where am I going, Cal? Help. Cal, help. Jill, no. Yeah, sorry everyone, I had to kill the rams. Well, I suppose I didn't have to. But I did. I killed them. I shouldn't have done that, it's not the Jedi way.
Never seen a storm do that before. Yeah, it's incredible.
We love BD. He's one of my new favourite droids.
My friend, I believe this to be the earliest Zepho site we've uncovered yet, despite my reservations. I cannot chase the Bogano vault from my mind. Its visions shape the direction of an entire culture. I must understand why.
Lord Brockridge says the sex number in 20 minutes will either be in Australia, Russia, or the South Sandwich Islands, my dude. Is that 4:20 AM? Surely. But sure, yeah. Let's do an Australian 4:20. Rank all droids. Oh my god, don't make me.
I'm in the tomb. Massive.
And the Empire?
No sign of them down here.
What about Cordova?
Still not sure what I'm supposed to find. He's a little...
Eccentric? Tell me about it. But
I
he
don't want
wouldn't
to touch
send
these
us here
fellas.
for
They're
his amusement.
horrible, popping,
Keep an open mind.
thingy things. Ranking all droids. It's hard to compare all the droids because you like them for different reasons. You know, K2SO is up there, sure, but he's got apostrophe chewed, as they say in the cool on the streets. In the cool, he's got attitude. Gonk droids. Hey, I love gonk droids. I feel sorry for them because they're just so.
Yeah, did you see that? Ugh.
Cal, where am I going again? I've already forgot. What? Oh, you can just slip through this crap. Can you? Yeah. Okay. Mouse droid, Gonk droid, K2SO. Oh, I thought we were talking about individual droids rather than types. Rather, you know, Astromech Protocol. You know, R2, C3PO, BD, BB-8, Evil BB-8, BB-9E. He's called. Then there's that new one that looks like a little megaphone. I'm not going to make it. That's a wall run there. God, these things are gross. Ah! Ah! I don't like the droid in Solo very much. I don't think she's got anything particularly unique about her. Like, there's loads of droids that it's kind of just it seems a bit old hat now to just have a droid that is like, you know, has that kind of attitude. There've been that many droids, either in other Star Wars media or, you know, in other sci-fi or fantasy works, that like just having a droid that is
in the past,
that, you know, comes out with funny stuff. You know, I don't think that's not really, doesn't really do it for me. It's not enough. Push this ball round. Smash this thing open. There we go. Send it away again. HK-47 from yeah, the Old Republic. He's another. I don't need a hint. I know what I'm doing. So now we've got these two pushing that ball into the middle. Oh, how do I turn? Where's that? Why is that just coming out of there? Is that always there? Okay. That's fine. So now that's just sitting there, held between these two gusts. I'm going to turn this one on, and it blows it into the center. Ah! I'm watching Solo tonight, actually, as part of my my prep, my marathon prep. I don't mean my prep for the marathon. I mean the marathon that I'm doing in preparation for episode 9. Been watching every movie, including a bit of Clone Wars, just a couple of vital episodes. Played this game all of last week was what I did instead of watching the movies, but timed it so that it's all chronological. So I played this game just after I'd watched Revenge of the Sith, which is when it takes place canonically in the series. So played this now. Solo is next. Rogue One after that, which I'm really looking forward to. I really wanted to watch Rogue One and A New Hope, one after the other, in a single sitting, which I've never done before. It's very satisfying. There's pots over. But given that I've never done it before, I can't say for sure whether it's if it's fun, if it's worth doing, if I'm going to enjoy it. No, I shouldn't do that. I need to put a slow ability on it first. And yeah, I don't want to spoil my viewing of A New Hope if I'm already a bit tired from. Oh, actually, I can just do it while it swings, can't I? That's fine. Yeah, now's not the time for me to discover that it's not fun to watch A New Hope immediately after Rogue One. I'm sure it probably is. I'm sure it must be, but, you know. I'll discover that another time. Don't want to risk it. Can you use your lightsaber to write your name on a wall? Whenever I played GoldenEye as a kid, we used to try and write stuff with bullet holes. Oh my god, I'm Barlam. I used to do that when I was a young'un with bullet holes. A lot of games only have a limit there, don't they? So they start disappearing. Priceless archaeological space artifacts. Let's destroy them. Destroy them all. Says Shy Nazgul. Yeah, that's me. That's what I'm doing. You're gonna stop me? You're gonna stop me doing that? Oh, I can't push it. Oh, it's okay. There's this. Sorry if I'm sort of just running through stuff and not really taking stock of, you know, what's in the room, not listening to my audio recordings and things. I know some people are... Oh, yeah, that's good. I know some people are kind of watching my playthrough instead of playing the game themselves because they've only got a Switch, and they probably wish I was going into things in more depth. I mean, you know, I don't want to spend too long on this. Because I want to try and play through it all, and I know some people have said in the past that they get a little bit... Oh, they've only got so much endurance for week after week, like two-hour streams of the same game. So I want to try and get it done in only a few more, maybe 2 more weeks. Which is why I'm not going to linger too long on further lore. But it's all... Oh, hang on, I need to run with the current there. But it's all just supplementary stuff that I'm missing. I'm not missing out anything crucial. And, but I would recommend it, by the way. I'm not saying it's not worth listening to. As I say, I'm just conscious of time. But... Oh! Uh-oh. Oh no, the glitches! Come get me. Oh god. I like this, by the way. I don't remember really any recent game that has like had a puzzle like that where you have to jump into the wind to account for the way that you're going to be pushed. I think that's an interesting... It's not, I wouldn't say it's a puzzle exactly. It's not. It's pretty straightforward, but yeah. Are we sure the main character isn't a droid? The way he's battering through all those pots. Yeah. I saw. I check the Star Wars Reddit every day because there's some interesting stuff on there, and as you know, I'm a big fan of this game. This franchise.
The lightsaber can't solve everything.
Oh! So it's something I like to keep up with. But, as you like it, just subscribe. Thank you very much. That's as we like it when people subscribe to us on TripleJump. It's great. Thank you. Hello. Oh, it's one of these.
You've seen that before?
Jump. Jump. completely forgotten what I was saying now before. Oh yeah. So, because I check it every day, I sort by new posts rather than just like top posts of the day, because otherwise it's always going to be the same stuff at the top. I'd rather have it sort by new. And obviously then you do see some absolute tripe, because it's the stuff that hasn't yet been downvoted for being bad. Today, or yesterday I think it was, someone I'm sure they were trolling, but like a lot of people didn't seem to realise it was a troll. I might not have been. Maybe it's just someone who's that oblivious. But they said, "Oh, I just watched Rogue One, and it made me think maybe actually all of Star Wars takes place underwater, and actually the characters have gills on their abdomens because we never see a topless character." And there's so much wrong with that. Number one, clearly it doesn't take place underwater because there's deserts. Well, I guess they could be the seabed. But there's actual lakes. How do you have a lake under the water? I think you can also actually have that. I think you can have like different salt concentrations, which like creates... I don't know why I just jumped back here. But you know, there's a lot wrong with that. For various logistical reasons, it can't all be taking place underwater. But also, we have seen a character rather famously with his top off. In fact, more than once. We've seen Kylo Ren have his top off, and that was, you know, the meme from Last Jedi. But also Anakin Skywalker's had his top off when he had a nightmare. But, you know... And then someone even pointed that out. They said, like, oh yeah, you do realise that Anakin Skywalker woke up and he had a nightmare. And his top was off and there were no gills visible. And the person replied and said, oh yeah, well, true, but maybe that was after he became a robot. Which, you know, he never became a robot. He has a metal hand. Okay. And he eventually became Darth Vader, who is not a robot. So I think it was a troll, but it's just made me laugh that maybe all of Star Wars takes place underwater. Yeah, maybe it does. Or maybe, here's a theory, maybe it doesn't. It's just an idea. Just spitballing. I sort of didn't show you the transition there, but the door sort of moved away and now we're walking up this thing, just throwing stuff at us. Sort of having a weird vision.
Focus.
What?
The Jedi do not seek aggression, but we stand against it. The Force is there to shield us. The obstacles in your path define the path. What stands in the way becomes the way. Now, try again.
Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention, Master.
Try again.
Jeez, alright.
Good. Continue.
You know when I played Jedi Outcast recently, and I got stuck in that... Well, I didn't get stuck in it, but there was that room that had loads of like squares on the wall and a load of guns, and I was like, what even is this room in the context of like Star Wars? Evidently it was a room like that, a training room where you can like have different levels pop up and down, and now it makes a lot of sense. And now we can force push, and I'm very happy because that's one of my most used force powers in this game. Ah, BD! We love BD.
My friend, take a look at the detail on this bark.
Or
Distinctive striations. It can only be a Rocha tree from Kashyyyk. It's time to call on an old friend. If the Zepho had contact with Kashyyyk, there is a good chance Chieftain Tarful will know about it.
Tarful! So there's a reference. Anyone know who Tarful is? He's an actual character from... Oh! Tarful is a character from the original, from the saga, from the 6-episode saga. So you can push this guy's ball out of his body, and that makes him way weaker. Yeah. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Tarful was the Wookiee chieftain from episode 3.
What?
The one who hung out with Yoda and Chewbacca on Kashyyyk.
Find?
And Yoda actually says, when he's getting into his little pod to go and meet Obi-Wan after Order 66, "Goodbye, Chewbacca. Goodbye, Tarful." So there you go. Right, we need this ball. Need the ball down there. Here it goes. Oh, there's another one of these. Hello. Ah! He hurt me. Slice. Slice. Josh said she genuinely loves episode 3. That's okay. I quite like episode 3. I think it's mostly faultless, in as much as I don't mean it's perfect. I don't mean it in that way. I just mean there's nothing majorly wrong with it, which is good. Oh! Jeez, I pressed the wrong button. I think there's some bits that just are totally fine and not exciting. Like, I think a lot of the stuff on Utapau is kind of a little bit boring to an extent. Never really rated Grievous, I have to say. You know, I don't dislike him, but like, you know, Kenobi versus Grievous, the whole hello there fight, I'm just like so indifferent about it. I remember when I was a kid actually watching that film for the first time, and you know, how old was I when that came out? Like,
yeah. Yowdy howdy 420 BBBB blaze it my dudes and dudettes.
Everyone!
Here have some of my upside down Australian Jar Jar Blip Smoggy Dab.
Doing it. I'm pressing the button.
My theory is that, hear me out on this one, Star Wars takes place in space Smoggy gasp. But maybe not Smoggy cool.
She wasn't supposed to read the Moggies, but... Lord Brotovich, thank you for the 200 blips there, very much. Yowdy howdy, BBBB blaze it. My theory is Star Wars takes place in space, but maybe not. Well, yeah, I don't know. My dad had us play hooky from school to go see episode 3, so he always had a nice memory of it. Ah, lovely. That being said, the no is really quite trash. Do you know what? I don't get the no problem. I even wondered if people were genuinely getting confused with when they retroactively added Vader saying no when he saves Luke in episode 6. That's a little bit silly. Like, it's just unnecessary, is it? It didn't need doing. But
blaze it. I sent Mikey bird seeds.
Thank you, Stephen, for sending Mikey bird seeds and for donating another $5. Blaze it. I don't mind the no in episode 3. I don't know why. I can see why I shouldn't like it, but I think there's just so much. The thing I love about that scene, that scene might be, for different reasons. Oh, I don't know, actually. I was about to say it's my favourite in the whole movie. That's a strong claim, because the lightsaber fight is great. But the reason it's one of my... Ooh, nice.
Come here, BD1.
The reason it's one of my favourite moments in that film is that, you know, you're seeing Vader get all put together as we know him. He's becoming a robot monster, as they say. That's the official term. A robot monster. And, you know, it's meant to be this whole thing like, oh, now he's the evil character that we always knew. You know, this is it. This is him. He's now turned fully into Darth Vader. Literally, he takes his first Darth Vader breath, and he gets put upright. The Emperor says, "Oh!" He doesn't say "oh." The Emperor says, "Lord Vader, can you hear me?" "Yes, Master," he says. And his first question, Darth Vader, the so-called evil man, is, "Where is Padme? Is she safe? Is she alright?" And, oh god, I love that. Because it says so much about, like... I think the way that Anakin falls to the dark side was genuinely really well handled. George Lucas is not actually the best writer in the world, but the way he did all that... It's the best bit of Attack of the Clones as well, is the whole thing with the Tusken Raiders, when they take Shmi and they kill her. That's like perfectly done from an actual psychological perspective. I studied psychology for 3 years before I somehow ended up in this job, even though I was planning on going into that, and inexplicably fell into this. But there's this whole thing about like getting people to when you want to get someone to do something bad, for example, become a Sith Lord, or do something they don't want to do. There's this whole idea of like the foot in the door theory, where what you want to do is get them to do something that's quite bad, but they can kind of justify to themselves. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to stop it here, don't I? I remember. And then you get him to do a little bit more and a little bit more, and it's perfect that like what he does is, yeah, he slaughters a whole village of people, but number one, he's doing it because his mum was like beaten and possibly even, God, I don't know what happened to her there, but terrible things happened to his mum, who we'd not seen for a long time. Yes, I caught it. But also, like, in his mind, it wasn't like a victimless crime, but it wasn't like he was slaughtering a village full of human beings. He was slaughtering like subhuman animals, like weird donkey people. I think that's an official term. Canon. Tusken Raiders are donkey people. I'm not suggesting for one moment that it's okay to kill things if they're not human, but you see what I mean, He doesn't start by killing a village full of human children. He starts by killing some gorillas, effectively. In his mind, anyway. And likewise, in Episode 3, the whole thing is he's just so scared about losing Padme that he makes a deal with the devil. And the fact that when he even becomes Darth Vader, like physically, visually, he's in the armor and he wakes up, the first thing that he says is like, "Where is Padme? Is she okay? Is she safe? Is she alright?" Like, that's all he cares about. He's not actually like this super evil man. And then when he gets told, "Oh, actually, no, she died," then he screams no. And yeah, alright, it's hammy as hell, but like, I don't know, I'm fine with it for some reason.
What did you find?
There's also that fan
Zepho
theory.
went to Kashyyyk. Cordova mentioned someone named Tarful.
A Wookiee chieftain. They were old friends.
Now we're talking about this dialogue.
Still around?
There's only one way to find out. We have to go to Kashyyyk.
Yes, we do. There's also a fan theory, and I quite like it, especially if you struggle with the no, and if you need to somehow explain it away with some headcanon. Which I don't need to, but I still think it's an interesting idea. Is that the voice modulator that he uses is essentially... It like reads what he's saying and reproduces it with like a different voice. It's like those aren't his actual words coming out. It's like a robotic translator because he's so badly damaged. And I think that's pretty much canon because when he takes his helmet off in Episode 6, his voice is completely different. Likewise, the voice of Vader as we know him is completely different to Hayden Christensen's. Like, I think it's like it's effectively a computer. It's like almost like text to speech. It's robot lady, is what I'm saying. And the fan theory is that he is expressing so much grief inside the mask that like Padme has died, that the computer voice modulator doesn't know how to properly convey what he's saying inside his mask into an external voice. So it just does this really weird no, which, if you need the headcanon, I guess, to explain why he goes, no, it's there for you if you need it, you know? I like that that's there as an option. But, yeah, episode 3, I remember seeing that, and the one thing that really excited me when Obi-Wan is fighting Grievous, that's the first time you're introduced to Grievous in that film, if you've not watched any of the animated shows, which at the time I hadn't. So it's just this new character who's come along. I was like, oh, who is this? Like, he seems to be some kind of cyborg. He's mostly metal, but he's got, like, biological components. And there's a shot just before they finish the fight where there's this close-up of Grievous's head, and inside his mask you can see these, like, bloody, like, fleshy, burnt up eyes. And I convinced myself when I was younger, like, oh my god, Darth Maul, like, they got, like, his head or, like, his brain or, like, his face, and they turned him into a robot, and that's who this is. Because it's just the way he looks at Kenobi, of all people, and his eyes are, like, you can see that he's, I don't know, he's like a damaged body, and he's fighting with Kenobi, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Kenobi and Maul fighting each other again. So I was well excited for that when I was younger. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But, you know, that's okay. So, mass push, that's a pretty good one to have. Improved dash, repulse, I didn't use that much at all. Yeah, I think mass push. Sprint strike, yeah, that's pretty good, but not, we don't need it yet. Little did you know you weren't far off, says Trolling Badger. Yeah, I mean, you know, I preempted Maul's return, for sure. Just wasn't there and then. But there you go. I sense a donation inbound of Robot Lady saying no, says Tashubi. Oh no, As You Like It did it with 100 blips, Jar Jar blips, but I'm afraid that it's 200. Oh no, sorry about that, As You Like It. I'll read it for you, because you were expecting text-to-speech there, and it's not fair that you've been put out of, you know, you're out of pocket. But my interpretation of Robot Lady saying no is, no, whoa, blippity blip blip, howay son. That's what she says.
Just open the way for the Empire.
And Barlam, bit of a tangent, but the way episode 3 sort of expected you to have seen the TV series that explained who Grievous was reminds me of Marvel saying that people need to watch their upcoming TV shows to keep track of their new movie plots. Just annoying to follow. Are they saying that on Marvel? I didn't know that. I don't really follow Marvel at all. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you could get by with episode 3. Essentially, the only thing that you really didn't know was who the hell this Grievous character was. I think pretty much everything else was, you could kind of just work it out or assume it or take it as read.
Where is Padme? Is she safe? Is she alright? No.
No. See, that's the point. Vader, within his mask, Anakin Skywalker inside the mask of Vader was saying, I have so much grief, and I am so sad about the death of my wife. And all that Robot Vader could say was new. Why am I not using my push? Push! Come on, push! Oh yeah, I can throw the... Hang on, let's step back, because what I can do is... do some fun things.
Don't let up. Get him! Solid contact.
There we go. Pushed his rocket back. Uh-oh. Come on, shoot me. Oops, I held it down like an idiot. Come on, shoot me again. Oh, I need it. Shoot me! Yeah, boy. Ree says, what is the push voice from? It's from the scene in Jurassic Park 1 where the baby velociraptor is being born. And John Hammond, played by Richard Attenborough, is saying, he's encouraging the raptor to make its way out of the egg it's being born from. He's going, come on, little one. Come on, push. That's it. Push. Push. He only says it like twice, but, you know, it's become a... It's joined the Triple Jump vernacular. Uh-oh. Anyone know what this is? It's an Imperial probe droid, as seen on Hoth. And it's in Rogue One as well. I'm not just a pretty face, am I? I'm sharing with you my Star Wars knowledge. So, hop into my Millionaire Falcon as we take a warp tour of that galaxy far, far away. Oh, I didn't get him. Oh, they're coming out of their holes! Where is the Mantis? The Mantis is that way. I'm going to go to the Mantis. How go to Mantis? Down rope.
I see you.
No.
I hope that
Stop it! I'm here mostly for the pretty face, to be honest, says Labrotovich. Well, I'm here for your pretty face too, Labrotovich. Believe me, I would have left Triple Jump by now if it wasn't for you. It's not true. Oh. Bye. That's why I love Force Push, and I always have, and I always will. In Jedi Academy, and I'm possibly in Jedi Outcast, but I don't know because it's too hard. You can unlock obviously Force Push and also Force Grip, you know, Force Choke, and oops. The main reason I use those is to grab stormtroopers by the neck or body and throw them off the edge. It's fun. I didn't realise. I only found out recently that the Oh, whack. Mantis, hello. Which way are you? Up there. Okay. Is it possible to... Yes, it is possible to climb up here. I only found out recently... Oh, no. Oh, thanks, game. Doing all the hard work for me. The Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, basically the new version of Lego Star Wars that's coming out.
Watch out! All our rocket units are down.
Is a complete remake. They're redoing the original trilogy and prequel trilogy for that game, which is great because I thought they were. I assumed they were just gonna, if anything, just slightly remaster, you know, sort of HD, 4K, the original games that they made, and then just throw in three more like movies worth of content. But they're actually redoing the entire saga in the top quality, latest version of. Yeah, the way that they do the Lego games nowadays, because a lot has changed.
How do you feel on the character's appearance after playing more?
Haha. Do you know what? I warmed to the character himself. Hang on, am I going the right way or going wrong again? No, this is right. I warmed to Cal himself, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they should have picked someone else or just remodeled his face. They could have used him for the acting work. Like, he's a perfectly good actor and voice actor as well. I think his voice is fine, but I don't know. There's just something about him. I think it is. He does remind me of Jimmy Hopkins from Bully, who was an arsehole. So I can say that word, by the way. Oh my god. Did that just disappear? This game is just annoyingly, slightly glitchy. Just incessantly. Ugh. Am I going the... I feel like... No. Oh, hello. That never gets old. Every time. Can I just maybe... No. Yes? No. No. Okay, I need to go back in here. He doesn't look too bad. Like, there's nothing wrong with him. I'm not going to go at a guy for his appearance. He's not an ugly boy. I'm just saying, he's not what I had in mind. He's not the sort of Jedi hero I might have hoped for if you told me the plot of this game ahead of time. This poor actor's face was ridiculed so much from the first trailer of the game, but no one seemed to mind when he was the Joker. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I say, it's not about the actor's face in general. I don't think that guy looks like there's anything wrong with how that guy looks. It just doesn't suit the character, I don't think. Yeah, I think I want that now. Increased distance that Cal can... I like dash strike, that's good. Quicker evade. Nah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, let's boost our force stuff for now. Yes, I know. Thank you, game. Thank you. Yes, I know. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Oh, circle. May as well spend on another. Maximum force. Maybe I should put my health up a little bit because I have used a couple of stims. Yeah, we'll do that. Everyone says he looks generic. I mean, he does, but the poor guy. Yeah, he does just look a bit generic. But like Mark Hamill, he was also a Joker. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? That both Mark Hamill and this guy, whose name I've forgotten, have played sort of Imperial era Jedi.
Okay,
and
Jedi,
the Joker.
Fight me.
Who have run out of force.
I needed that.
I should be fighting them really, but I can't help myself. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Oh no, I can't. I have to do it from the other side. Hello? Looking forward to the Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know why I said it like that. Joaquin Phoenix Star Wars game. Yeah, it's gonna be great. How get back, Star Worms? I need to get up here and just jump across, but I don't know how I get up here. Can I climb on a ledge? Can I climb up here? Hello? Oh. Like that. I remember doing this. Hello, fellas.
Eyes up. Someone? Anyone? Help?
Hit me.
That's a hit.
Come on. Oh, okay.
Jedi.
So the ju-
Enemy spotted. He's blocking. Keep your
blocking.
distance and fire. Launching attack. I guess it's just me.
You can actually just push people, and that will, if they're a weak enemy and you're on story mode like me, you can sometimes push people. I think the regular stormtroopers, you can just push them to death. There we go. Dead. Death by force.
Identify yourself. Let's take him on. Move up.
Ooh.
Jedi's weak. Take him out. Don't let him get you. You aren't leaving here alive.
I'll never stop. I'll never stop doing that. And it will. Ooh. Hello. Can I? Up there, maybe? Yeah. What? No. Hello. How do I get back? I've forgotten. Through there. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. Climb up. Back up.
What are you doing down there?
Oh, just leave me alone. Oh, I guess.
Keep up the pressure.
Don't keep it the pressure.
Out of backup. I don't know if I can handle this.
I don't know if I can handle this. Oh my god. The Jedi's coming for me.
Cal, we've got a walker firing on us, and our weapons are down.
This is it.
Is that him? Tell him he better get his butt.
Oh, hang on. I should, let me,
Hold
should
on,
probably rest
I'm on my way.
before I go and fight. It's only one day from retirement. Oh no. Rested.
There's still no results. I wonder what's gonna happen.
These poor guys trying to do their jobs and they just get cut down in the prime of their life. I bet that last one was up for a promotion. Oh, sorry, Cecil Promise. I'm out myself. This is fun. Get to fight a walker. Uh-oh. I wonder if I can actually, I've not tried using the force to push those missiles back. You definitely push these grenades back in his face. Oh yeah, you can. Nice. Fall off the edge in a minute. We nearly got him. Come on. Hit me. You'd think it would stop throwing these at me at this point, but apparently not. We got him! And this little detail, I tweeted about it, I love it. The pilot jumps out. And he's like super weak. Well, he's just like a regular stormtrooper, I think. But, you know, he's like, oh, you know, I may as well have a go. Which never really happens. You don't really see pilots jumping out of these things when they crash. In fact, someone replied to the tweet. I posted a gif of that moment happening where the pilot jumps out. And someone replied and said, oh, I'm not much of a Star Wars fan. I always assumed these things were just big robots. But no, they're vehicles.
Nice work out there, kid.
This is the moment I talked about. If you watched our, I can't remember if it was on our podcast or if it was on our Quipscope. I think it was our Quipscope. No, it was a podcast maybe. I don't know. Where Cal's only been on like 2.5 missions now, or 1 mission, and he like walks in now and he's like, "Oh yeah, just get myself a drink because I'm the effing best. Oh yeah, I'm so good."
Hey, you got some real moves on you. Just tell me that this visit wasn't for nothing.
I found the tomb of a Zepho sage. They definitely used the Force.
An advanced civilization of Force wielders who mysteriously vanished.
Well, maybe it's not now. I think it is. He goes and gets a drink like a big...
What else did you find?
Before they disappeared, the Zepho journeyed to the planet Kashyyyk.
Big proud idiot.
Cordova had a Wookiee friend named Tarful. Maybe we can find him.
Sheik, look, things are really bad down there. The Empire's muscling in on those Wookiees big time.
Then we better get ready for a fight.
Yeah. Here he is. They get ready for a fight.
I think this lifestyle suits you. Fighting that walker seems to have made you more confident. So,
I think this is playing out differently to... Maybe not.
And with the Force?
Yes.
I might be thinking of 2 different cutscenes,
I know you said it could be overwhelming.
Haven't gotten myself killed yet. Rather not talk about it.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, well,
I don't know, he seems a bit arrogant in this scene, I think. He's like, yeah, just kill the walker. Look at me.
Why'd you choose to stop using the Force?
When the Purge started, and our clone troops turned against us, my Padawan and I took several younglings and we went into hiding. But we didn't last long. Imperial Patrol was about to discover our location, so I tried to lure them away from my Padawan Trilla. She stayed behind with the younglings, but they caught me. And they tortured me. They wanted to know about the others and how many were left, but mostly they wanted to know about Cordova and where he went.
But you escaped.
Yeah. It was a prison riot. I saw my opportunity and I took it. But they almost broke me. And I am not the same as I was, Cal.
Your Padawan. Did she survive?
No. But that's why we can't give up. We can't let the sacrifice of those closest to us be for nothing.
Let's check out the lightsaber parts we've got now. In fact, do we have any seats?
It's getting there.
Is it? I've planted anything. Oh, I have. Planted one thing there, I think. How is his hair flowing inside a spaceship? I don't know. Air conditioning, maybe? Alright, let's get rid of this garbage emitter. That's nice. I like that. Now we want one with the fewest knobbles on it. I'll have it like that for now, I guess. Yeah. Nice white saber. Like it. Like it. This is not a big spoiler. It's just something that might excite those of you who are wondering. You get more choices of colours later in the game. Haha. And you don't have to go around and find them either. There's just something that happens that allows you to use more saber colours later on, which is cool. Peter, if you're still thinking about a tattoo someday, why not Spyro wielding a lightsaber? Oh, please no. Oh, don't like the idea of that being on my body for the rest of my life. He's using the Force to make his hair flow indoors. That's it. Using the Force. Trialing Badger says, this doesn't look insertion level smooth, peeps. I know, but there's only so many options. You know? Bogano Kashyyyk. Let's go. We're not going to Dath... You know I said I was going to take us to Dathomir as soon as possible? I'm not going to. And the reason why is because you reach a point in that level very early on where you can't actually progress until you've like unlocked other stuff. So there's no point us going there. Because we have to go back later anyway, once we're able to get through a certain area. So
be honest. You upset that droid chose the kid over you?
It wasn't the droid's choice. It was mine.
Wait, what? Explain that.
I believe BD-1 was left for me to find. Cordova trusted that I would come looking for him, but I knew I wasn't the one he needed.
Why not?
He needed someone strong with the Force. I had hoped that BD-1 would recognize that strength and courage. And it appears he did.
Oh, that's cute. Real cute. Time to land. Get up here.
it is cute. Sometimes BD-1 reaches over to the control panel and presses a button, and he looks at Grease sort of nervously as though he's gonna... Oh, watch. He's scared that Grease is gonna be mad. Clearly Grease doesn't know how to pilot this thing. He does. He's great. We love Grease. Uh-oh!
Tell me we're not running that blockade.
Oh, only as a last resort. I've rigged the Mantis' transponder to transmit Imperial signals. Hey, Grease.
Yeah.
Keep your power signature low and act like we belong.
Fly casual.
Like Rocca. No sweat. I don't need another set of hands. Just please keep your eye on the scanner.
All right.
Please.
All right.
All right.
Archers be Cray with 100 Jar Jar blips there. Purple lightsaber has always been my favourite.
I don't see anything.
Well.
You're preoccupied with something on the ground. We're clear.
I quite like a gold lightsaber. Plo Koon had one of those. Nothing wrong with the blue and green, of course. And actually, if they didn't have a rather nasty association, I quite like a red saber. Like if the Sith didn't exist, and it was just like, oh, what colour saber do you want? I'd be like, oh, red's a pretty cool colour. Red's great.
That doesn't look good.
And then in the expanded universe, you've got
resources.
There's a black lightsaber. In fact, I think there's more than one. There's the Mandalorian one. And by that I don't mean that's a spoiler from the series. I mean it's a lightsaber that was on Mandalore. But I think there's been one or two others as well. Maybe one of them.
Guerrilla fighters, Wookiees and off-worlders ambushing an Imperial convoy.
Walkers approaching their position.
Tarful could be with them.
Tarful could
Yeah,
be
the
anywhere.
dark saber.
Like deep in the ground, like we're gonna be if we get caught up in that battle down there.
They should do a white lightsaber as well. That would be pretty interesting.
We'll die without our help.
Rainbow lightsaber. What about a brown one?
We used to scrap walkers on Braca.
The poo saber.
Just jack one.
Get a load of the kid. He thinks we're back in the Clone Wars.
Captain, get us near those walkers.
Wait, what?
Listen, those walkers double as troop transport, so once you get inside, be careful.
Oh, this is great. I forgot about this.
To work his magic.
Hey, do me a favor. Stay alive down there.
I'll add it to the plan.
Oh, spoilers, everyone. I didn't know that the Sega had that. It's okay.
Right, if you're jumping, you better do it now, kid.
I didn't know she had those. That's cool. I've not watched Rebels yet. It's okay. That's not a big spoiler. I've probably already seen pictures and clips of her with them, so I will have already known that. But that's cool. It's good that they've done that because I wondered why they hadn't ever done it. Plo Koon, I think, has used a few colours, so that'll just be great. Oh, I didn't know that either. I'm sure in the Phantom Menace era he had a gold one, like in Jedi Power Battles and stuff. I will be watching Rebels, by the way. I'm just waiting until after. Oh God! Waiting until after the
that was close.
Final film comes out. I wanted to watch it all as part of the marathon that I'm doing, but there's just a lot of it, and you know, like Clone Wars, some of it's filler episodes, which I'm sure are good, but just aren't particularly pertinent to saga, so I just didn't want to get involved in that until I'm all done. But it looks great.
Wonder how we get inside.
I know how we get inside.
Yeah, I'll try the leg.
I'll try the leg. Oops, I missed the leg. Nice mix of eras here. You've got an LA-AT gunship from the Clone Wars era chasing a TIE fighter around in the sky. Obviously the Empire. But the Wookiees here still have a load of Clone Wars technology lying around. Well, not a lot of it.
Okay.
But some
now where?
Clone Wars tech lying around. Trolling Badger. Okay, this is freaking cool. It is. Climbing a... No, it gets cooler.
Just a little more. Thanks, BD.
Look at this, I'm hanging off the front of an AT-AT. I don't say AT-AT. I'm not saying that you can't say AT-AT. In fact, Clone Wars apparently was specifically written, and possibly I guess Rebels as well. Also, yeah, Rebels was specifically written so that Imperial troopers and stuff. Oh! Imperial troopers use a mixture of AT-AT, AT-AT, and Walker, just to show that like all three are canon. You can say any of them, but I just prefer saying AT-AT. Oh, careful! Yeah, climb down. No, I was still in control there. That's my fault. We're inside it, Trolling Badger.
There's no pulse. Your turn to report fatalities. This is L97240 reporting in. We've got
You've got more confirmed casualties coming up, you Imperial scum.
Get up here. He's too fast for us.
Yeah, boys. And/or girls. So we're in the main bulk of the body now, the troop transporter. And through here... Hello?
Reading a new ship on scanners. They brought more firepower than we thought. How's our hull looking? Badly damaged. We're at 70% integrity and falling. That should still be enough to stop out these insurgents. Keep us steady. Yes, sir. Got one. Bet they didn't...
That's a bit silly. I don't think you can knock two people's heads together when they're wearing stormtrooper helmets.
What's happening over there? You're in violation of Imperial Protocol
Shut that guy up.
207. Stand down or we won't hit...
Boring conversation anyway. We're now driving
Let's do this.
and you actually get to walk it left and right and stuff, which in some games, so you, in like Battlefront 2 you get to drive one of these, but you don't really get to properly move it around.
Let's move forward.
Guessing I probably can't shoot the TIE down. What was that? Oh!
Hey! Who are you?
Someone who just brought an AT-AT to the table.
Forrest Whitaker.
Who are you?
Someone making the Empire angry. We're advancing on an imp landing pad up ahead. With my fire support.
Copy that. Let's make them even angrier.
It's Saw Gerrera, everyone, from Rogue One and from the Clone Wars claymation show. Not a claymation show. That's a reference. It's Neil Cicerino. I forgot all about this section. I don't know how I forgot about it. It's been great. Okay, we done? Let's go. One fella there. There we go. So Saw Gerrera is here helping out the Wookiees, Kashyyyk, with some of his partisan. I mean, the Rebel Alliance doesn't even exist yet, I don't think. But it's sort of the early makings of it.
Gotta take them out.
We're not even joined it yet to be able to become a partisan from it, but. Maybe he has. No, I don't know. I feel like there would have been reference to the rebellion.
Just keep coming.
But yeah, those of you who've seen Rogue One will know that Saw Gerrera was a member of the rebellion who eventually left with a group of other rebels in favour of more sort of guerrilla warfare tactics. Oh, hello. There's a whole ship up here shooting at me. Landing crap. But yeah, I don't think he's yet rebellion part.
It's headed for us.
Uh-oh.
Can you do anything?
Shoot it down. Help! Hold on! Help!
Brace yourself, BD.
Peter, do you have favourite quotes? I, for one, don't like "It's a trap." And Barlam says TP's favourite quote is "No." I don't dislike "It's a trap." I'm fine with "It's a trap," but I get that it's like very memey. It's overused. Why aren't you wearing your seatbelt? It's a good point, Crombat. It might not have crashed if we'd been wearing our seatbelt. Save the rebellion!
Yeah,
Save the dream.
You alright? No, you're not doing that again.
You just wrecked a perfectly good walker. Got a name?
Cal Kestis.
Saw Gerrera. What are you doing on Kashyyyk?
What are you doing on Kashyyyk?
What are you doing here?
My companions and I came to Kashyyyk to disrupt Imperial supply lines.
Hey!
My favourite quote.
What are you looking for?
A Wookiee chieftain named Tarful.
Tarful is impossible to find. There's a reason he's evaded the Empire for this long.
He's a freedom fighter?
He's the freedom fighter. A symbol of the Wookiee resistance. Striking at the Empire from the Shadowlands.
Huh. Seer, Grease, this is Saw.
How you doing?
What do you want with Tarful?
Jedi business.
The Jedi are dead.
Not all of them.
You get that off a corpse?
The Master gave it to me.
This pad supports an Imperial refinery that runs on Wookiee slave labor. Intel suggests that some of the captives there are guerrilla fighters.
I should help them.
Well, if they're Wookiees, yeah, I think guerrilla warfare is exactly what those those ape-like creatures get up to. Anyone? No. Okay, let's go back.
One of them might know how to contact Tarful.
It's possible.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. The Mantis works wonders. I mean, it's a great ship, excellent pilot, but it is not built for close support.
We'll stay here and monitor Imperial transmissions. With a bit of luck, we'll intercept any distress calls.
Appreciate it. My lieutenants and I will scout ahead to prepare the attack. Join us when you're ready. Go! Go!
Funniest thing I've ever heard, peeps. Well, thank you very much. If TP's favourite quote isn't from Jar Jar, I'll be very unhappy. Yeah, I think my favourite Star Wars quote of all time is probably "Excuse me." You know, maybe crash into boss's hay blibber. That might be my favourite quote, or possibly
I love the
Bad
score
bombing.
for this game. All we're missing is the Cantina band.
We are. Archers be great. Thank you for the 200 Jar Jar blips there. Very kind of you. Me's a Jar Jar Binks. Yeah. You said big doo-doo this time. That's a great one. Ah! Goober fish. Big goober fish! Huge your teeth!
She's in no condition to fight. You're right. There's no time. Stay strong until we get back.
None of these are Chewbacca, don't worry. It's not. They look kind of bad. It's one of the only bits in this game, one of the only things in this game that graphically does not look very good. It's very hard to do a Wookiee, though, as it were. Oh, that looks so, sort of okay, that close-up.
One Imperial transmission pinned him near a Wookiee village, as if there aren't hundreds of those in the area. Stormtroopers.
Oh, that's a good quote, Trying Badger. How does slight weapons malfunction? But everything's perfectly right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? How are you is good. Fly casual is actually a good quote as well. I like fly casual.
If anything goes wrong with this plan, we're finished.
Mari's mapped out.
My favourite character, without a doubt, is Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I'm trying to think of like one of his best lines. I don't want to say hello there, because again, that's just been memed so hard that, you know, I don't really like it anymore. But oh, I can't do that yet. I need to unlock that. These aren't the droids you're looking for? Yeah, I'll let the mind tricks. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Should be at the other
They're
end.
for sale if you want them. I love that, reverse psychology. You don't need to be a Jedi to say things like that to confuse someone who's hounding you. I might leave. We come back here later, so I might just leave all this because it's a bit of faff. Oh, actually, what's sometimes
Maybe spare parts over there.
Yeah, sometimes when you search these workstations. Oh, the spider! Everyone, help me! Sorry, everyone who just had an absolute plot. What's it doing? Spider's dead. Jesus, that spider is terrifying. Well, I don't have to go to the bathroom anymore. OMFG, that was genuinely a slight jump scare. Big doo-doo indeed. Thanks, Peter. I thought the spooky season was over. It just wants a hug. Didn't realise part of this game took place in Australia. Yeah. This son doing murder to Misa's skin, Jar Jar Binks. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. Oh yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Do you want to buy some death sticks? You don't want to sell me death sticks. I don't want to sell you death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life. That's great.
Well, with this transformer, I bet you can short-circuit Imperial tech.
Fantastic. So now, oh jeez, hello. So now we can do things like this. Hello, where is the thing that we can do a thing with? I want to buy some death sticks. You don't want to sell me death sticks. I don't want to sell you death sticks. I want to go home and rethink your life. My Obi-Wan went a little bit Butterfield there. You want to go home and rethink your life. You do not want to sell me death sticks. Saturday's treat day. Charge it, BD. And... stop it there. Whee! You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis twice? It's a Sith legend. Stop. Oh yeah, we actually have to go in that room that I was just in with the spider. I thought we didn't, but we do. These bugs are a little bit like the ones in Battlefront. The Luke Skywalker levels, but I don't think they're the same ones. They should have just made them the same ones though. It would have just added a bit of internal consistency. Well, not consistency, it doesn't matter that they're not, but you know. It's good to like recycle stuff now and then rather than like create a new monster for a new game. Ah, it's loading. You may fire when ready. Yeah. Grand Moff Tarkin's a great character.
Imperial Sap Refinery lies dead ahead.
It's unlimited power in Barlam, not absolute power.
Nothing good. They refine the sap into a
or does he say that? He might say that else in another bit. But,
we have to stop them.
That's the plan. We don't know they're in game. They spread themselves too thin. This map we recovered proves it.
Always lived, so this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. Yeah, that was a good one. That sounds like a quote from like a philosopher in like the real world, like real Earth history, doesn't it?
We need their help to stop the Empire.
Evacuate in a moment of triumph? I think you overestimate their chances.
You hear that? Said he needs my help. Come on, buddy.
You may fire when ready. There's that weird bit in A New Hope where Carrie Fisher delivers all her lines to Moff Tarkin. Well, no, like 2 of her lines to Moff Tarkin in an English accent, like a British accent. Which, I don't know if it's just like Carrie Fisher accidentally slipped into the accent of the person she was speaking to, or, again, like, fortunately there is some headcanon to explain why she's doing that, and it's like she's just taking a piss. Because she's like meant to be quite young as a character at that moment, and maybe she's just literally mocking his accent. She says, I can't remember exactly the wording, but it's like, Governor Tarkin, I should have known you'd be here. I recognised your foul stench the moment I got on board. And then for the rest of the scene, she's like, no, we're a peaceful people. You can't destroy Alderaan. But, Governor Tarkin, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash, that's it. I recognised your foul stench when I was brought on board. I think she was used to doing it from acting school or something. Yeah, there's headcanon for that. I don't mind that. That's one of the things I love about obsessive communities that, like, break these things down. You could complain and say, oh no, I don't like the fact that the Star Wars community are like constantly talking about the fact that, oh, Leia talks in a British accent in A New Hope for like 2 lines, or oh, Obi-Wan does this thing when he should have done that thing. But the best thing about that is that if you do spot inconsistencies like that, the community is normally very good at coming up with a reason for it, so that it doesn't sort of completely ruin your immersion. You can just sort of try and get it into your head that, like, oh no, that makes sense because of this reason. It's like with people saying, why don't they use hyperspace ramming just all the time? We've seen how powerful it was in The Last Jedi, and there's various like reasons why.
They use this place as a hideout in their battle
against like non-canon. Well, actually, I think there's some canon reasons now for it as well. But even before that, people came up with all different kinds of reasons that you can like implement into your own internal monologue. I just quite like the idea that like it actually only works like that. I have to do that, otherwise he'll alert the guards. Sorry everyone for killing the R2 unit. He's an evil one. I quite like the idea that maybe you can only do hyperspace ramming and it having that effect if there's like a perfect sweet spot of like size of your ship, the size of the object that it's hitting, the distance between you and it when you take off, like maybe maybe like the moment that a ship enters hyperspace, in that like the ship is here and it activates its hyperdrive and it does the whole And at this moment here is where it vanishes into the hyperspace tunnel. And maybe that's exactly where the target ship has to be. So if the ship was here, or if the ship was here that you're trying to hit, then you're not going to be able to do the hyperspace ramp. So it was just like a perfect storm of conditions which allowed Admiral Holdo to do that. And she did it just because, you know, she was going to die anyway, so she may as well have a go. And the Empire, the First Order, when they saw that she was doing it, you know, there was a good chance it wasn't going to work, but they thought, we better stop her doing that just in case.
Parsecs. I've outrun Imperial starships, not the local bulk cruisers, mind you. I'm talking about the big Corellian ships now. She's fast enough for you, old man.
Thank you, Watchers Be Cray. Is that your favourite quote? That's another one. That's a good example of, again, it's been sorted out in canon as well now. But even at the time, when Han Solo said that in A New Hope, it was literally like George Lucas accidentally used a measurement of distance when I think he really was thinking it was a measurement of time. So how do you make the Kessler run in less than 12 parsecs? If it's like saying, I drove from here to the corner shop in less than 12 miles. That's how fast my car is. I managed to get to the corner shop 12 miles away in less than 12 miles. That doesn't make any sense. But first, in terms of like the fan base's little fan theories and headcanon, and then later on in actual canon, it's because of the navigation system. They were able to like take a shorter route through the moor. But that's a good thing about having a prolific fan base who are slightly obsessed. There's lots of bad things about the Star Wars fan base, especially in the last 2 years. Let's not pretend that that's not the case. Oh, the frame rate. That was a Purge Trooper. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, you just missed... I saw was actually up in that window. I forgot to look at him, but yeah, he just opened the vent for me. Oh, no! I didn't realise. Sorry, everyone. You just missed the Purge Trooper. I didn't... It's... God, all these messages are only just coming through. How long has it been like that? Okay, now you're saying it. Now you're saying it. We fought a Purge Trooper. You missed it. You missed everything. I didn't even realise. I should never, ever use this button. So, I can't believe I did that. I always miss it. Where? Oh, it's in the tactical guide. Empire.
Yeah.
We're all forgetting Boba Fett's iconic line, "As you wish, XD."
As you wish. That's it. That's all he says. So we fought this guy. You missed it. It's my fault. But we'll see plenty of these guys. They're basically, as you can read right there, they're part of the Inquisition. God, I wonder how long I was on that screen for. That bothers me. The poor droid, you said. Force pushing. Okay. So that's okay. I wasn't on it for too long. Did I even do that on purpose? When did I... What did I go on full screen for? Oh, yeah, because I was doing the... Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. I was demonstrating what the ship was doing. Okay, so you've not missed too much. But yeah. We fought a fella in here. I don't know why Robot Lady can't say I'm properly. Even if you put the apostrophe in, she doesn't get it.
Tight fit, huh, BD?
Flame beetles, they're coming through the walls.
Have
Just sit and let this happen, I guess. And kill the flamethrower man, because I hate fighting these guys.
Move in. Taking the shot.
Just you and me, scum. I need to put these out now.
Oh god. I didn't realise that happened. If you throw a flame trooper, their flamethrower sets on fire and they explode. Peter, have you heard about how Eric Idle got Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford drunk the night before a shoot? He says he can tell they're still clearly drunk in one scene. Really? Do we know which scene it is? I know that they used to party a lot and they had an affair, basically. I don't know if it was an affair, if either of them were... I'm sure Carrie Fisher wasn't married at the time. I don't know if Harrison Ford was. But anyway, they had a romance that I think was very sort of passionate, but not...
You sure you want to plug into this thing?
You know.
Okay.
I don't think it was problematic. I just think it was like... Yeah, it was like a passionate fling that obviously didn't last, ultimately. I think Carrie Fisher... I'm sure I read somewhere that Carrie Fisher offered advice to...
You had no idea that was there, did you?
Like Daisy Ridley and maybe some of the other cast as well, about like, okay, here's what things are like sometimes when you're a female lead in a film. And here's what you got to watch out for. Watch out for the... Not that she was having to go about what Harrison Ford did. I just mean, you know, I think you get very tempted by certain things when you're in that world. Like, obviously, Carrie Fisher, well known for the fact that she had a drug problem and maybe an alcohol problem as well, I think. Anyway, certainly she used to take drugs. And yeah, she offered some words of wisdom, I think, to Daisy Ridley, possibly other people too, on the young members of the cast, which is nice. Hello, spider? I'm still what? Did it die? Yeah, it didn't die. Why did it change target? It's still trying to look over there. Okay, well, I don't know why that... Oh! BD.
Help! BD1!
Peter, are you still playing this at home, even after completing? I was going to. After I completed it, I immediately... You can load back into your save, and it like puts you on the ship and lets you travel around and, you know, see what you missed. Because there's loads of like lightsaber parts and things like that I'd missed. I definitely think I'll go back and platinum it, because it seems to be a relatively easy platinum. None of them are difficult. None of the trophies are like difficulty locked. You know, you don't have to play this on like the hard mode. You just have to basically find everything and kill various enemies in certain ways, like, oh, use, you know, force push and push like 50 people off an edge or things like that. So the platinum's probably quite easy to do, and I'm not really one for getting platinums particularly, but if there's a game that I really like, I usually go for it. Like, I've got platinums in all of Reignited Trilogy, Crash 1 and 3. I've not yet got Crash 2, I don't think. But yeah.
Let's give him a thrashing. Charge forward.
She said it on the Graham Norton show. Oh, did she? The drunk scene is in Empire when they leave the Falcon to greet Lando. Really? Is that true? I love that. I'll have to, when I watch Empire now, I'll see if they still seem drunk. I love that idea, because I love Eric Idle as well. I had no idea he was hanging out with Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford in, you know, the 80s. What a weird, you know, worlds colliding. It's just a funny thing. Well, I think...
Still alive in there? So far. Almost to the prison.
It's loading. We're pretty much at the end of the stream now.
Good. Imperial
distress calls are going out across the planet. If you don't get the prisoners soon...
We can do this. I promise.
So I will see what's going on here. I've got 2 points to spend. I'll spend my points, and then we'll wrap up. So... Oh, I like this one. Do I want that? Hang on. Let's not be too hasty. Superior blocking. Okay. Where's the cost of that? Why doesn't it... Oh, 1 skill point. And... Okay, so I can get both of those. I think I will. Yeah, let's do that. Superior blocking. Eric Idle just did Conan O'Brien's podcast. Quite a good listen for anyone interested. Oh, okay. Oh, and that comes from Eric Idle's latest book, apparently. I guess the anecdote about Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford. I'm looking forward to watching that scene now, seeing if I can see they're a little bit drunk. Yes. Speaking of the reignited trilogy, are there any plans on continuing the game from last year, Pete? I would never... I mean, I wouldn't say no to doing it, but I just feel like... I don't know if people want to see me playing Spyro again, do they? Maybe. Maybe I would play Spyro 2 at some point. I've played through most of Spyro 1 on stream, so I don't think I'd go back and restart that from the beginning, and I certainly wouldn't continue it from halfway through a playthrough. Well, I don't even have that save anymore, but yeah, I wouldn't start a game like halfway through like that, so I'd have to restart from the beginning of 1, which I don't think people need to see again. Or maybe just move on to Spyro 2, which I also really like. It's possible. Maybe I'll stick it in the poll as an option at some point, see if there's any demand for it, because I don't think people will be particularly game for it. I don't know. Maybe they will. Well, Cecil Prompt says I wouldn't complain if you played Spyro. Carrie the Worst says I'm okay with you playing more Spyro. Can't believe I forgot to mention I played and completed Spyro Reignited for the first time a few months ago. I thought 1 was the best. No way! I think you're in the minority there, Reese. Not that you should, not that that's, that should be the case. But I think a lot of people think that 1 is a bit of a basic bish. I don't. It's my favourite, certainly nostalgia-wise. I think 2 is probably objectively the best one. But I personally like 1 the best. There's one line that's always irked me in the original trilogy. When in Jedi, Han says, "You're the respectful one, remember?" to Lando. But in Empire, Lando says that he's responsible, not respectful. And that's the story of how I lost any shred of coolness I had remaining. Oh, okay. I mean, there's a worse line, isn't there, in Return of the Jedi, which doesn't add up, which is that Leia remembers her mother. What? How is that possible? She died in childbirth. Again, there's like loads of ways that people explain that away. They say that maybe Leia actually had visions of her mother through a Force vision, either when she was like in the womb or afterwards when she was growing up. She might have had some sort of like Force flashbacks. Or I don't know, that's about it. Maybe she's talking about her Alderaan mum, but I think Luke even says to her, "Do you remember your mum, your real mother?" And she says, "Yeah, she was sad." I don't know. Yeah, Bail Organa's wife. I think Luke actually says, "Do you remember your mother? I mean your real mother." The worst line is Obi-Wan saying what he said about Vader was truthful from a certain point of view. I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. Vader's name changed. Everything about Anakin Skywalker changed into almost a completely new person. Other than physically being the same human. Like, not only did his personality change massively, but his appearance changed and his name even changed. That's almost everything about a person. It's still a bit weird. I'm not saying it's like totally seamless dialogue, but I think there's something there. But or Lucas didn't know what he was doing, says Gabe the Giant. No, totally. I mean, those are the reasons for all of these things. All these like plot holes are because Lucas, particularly prequel and sequel stuff, or prequel and original trilogy stuff not lining up. That's just because Lucas didn't know it all ahead of time. Like, that's the real reason. But you create in-universe reasons, don't you? Anyway, that's the end. Just as Lord Brotovich says in chat, welcome to the after-hour Star Wars rant. Yeah, I know, I'm going to stop myself now. It's the problem when you guys get asking me questions and stuff, but I could go on forever. I won't, though. That's that. Is there any mention before that she's adopted? That's a question I'm going to answer now. I don't think there is, which is interesting. Luke just says, do you remember your mother, your real mother? But nowhere in the film does it actually say, I don't think, that she was ever adopted. But you just have to assume that they had the conversation off camera at some point. Anyway, that's the end of the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll play even more of this next Monday if you want to see even more. Might do a poll for it. As I said earlier, I think a lot of people are watching this playthrough in place of their hypothetical playthrough that maybe they can't even have because they've only got a Switch, or maybe they just don't own this game yet and they're going to wait till they've watched me play it through. So I kind of feel obliged to get through it. But, man, it's taken... I feel like there's probably at least 2 more streams worth, if not more. So I don't want people to burn out on this, but if you guys want more, I'll definitely play more. Thank you everyone for all your subscriptions and Jar Jar Blips and donations today. And it's been a good time. I hope you've been able to bear more Star Wars rantiness. You will never stop me. It's part and parcel of these streams, and if you don't like it, you can just